Digital zoom. Where you going? Good? Caught any fish today? No? Sucked in. Hey fellas, what are you up to? Hey? Well, not feeling particularly social today. Maybe not. Ooh. This might take some practice. Sounds like a bloody gas-fired foundry. Gotta have that cup of tea. Hello world, Thunderbeard here on the banks of Lake Borumba in Queensland. Beautiful winter's day. Have a look at this. How's that for winter weather? Just beautiful. Paddled out here in my kayak. Decided to share with you a quick little whatsy-doos-it on the SIG Kilo 1250 rangefinder that I bought the other day. Retails for like $400, but I got it on special for 300 and something. When you open the box, you're going to get a manual. Has all your information in there to show you how to use it. You're going to get a battery, one CR2. They're pretty easy to come by. They're not super cheap or anything, but they last for a fair while, and you can get them from Bunnings or whatever, your local hardware, so not hard to find. You'll also get a lanyard, which is a good idea to put it on if you are canoeing across a lake to talk about a rangefinder, because if you drop it, you're not getting it back. And then you also get this little SIG case to put your rangefinder in, and as you can see here, the little pull springy tab badooba which you got going on there, which is a nice touch. No velcro to make loud noises while you're out hunting. So, and here's the rangefinder. Very small, fits in the palm of your hand. One button on the top, one button on the side. The mode button on the side's kind of difficult to use, but you really want it to be difficult to use. You don't want it to be easy to change modes while you're taking your ranges, and you basically just click it once to turn it on and then click it again to find the range. We'll just pop the battery in. Negative down, positive up. When you put the cap back on, there's no real need to push down on it. It looks like you should, but there's because there's a spring in there, but the cap thread touches before the spring engages. Alright, we're ready to go. You can hook your lanyard on whichever side you like. I'm going to leave mine off for today. There's a whistling kite over there doing some wild stuff, chasing the other birds around because he's the boss. Now, this is going to look a little milky, but it is very nice and clear through the actual scope. I'll try and tilt him down a little bit. When you actually look through it with your eye, it's not going to look like this. There we go. The reticle is not illuminated and doesn't become illuminated. There's no way of illuminating it. You have to get the SIG Kilo 2200, I believe, to get that. But as you can see, I've got mine in meters instead of yards with the angle modified range for shooting. Let's see if we can get a nice long range. It's a little bit tricky. There we go. See if we can range the boat ramp. Oh, there we go. 1012.1 meters. Now, this is much harder than it looks because I'm using my camera phone to make this whole video. See if we can repeat that. (1012 meters). So I've obviously ranged a fair distance there. It won't pick up the dam wall, it won't pick up the boys over there in the boat, and it doesn't bounce back off water. So when it says that you can pick up things at 1600 yards if they're reflective, they need to be very reflective, like steel or a window or something like that, and you need to hold it very, very steady to get a range out to that far. Otherwise, you just have to range something a bit closer, and then maybe check it on a map to see whether or not yours is accurate. I'm about 1200 meters away from the dam wall, according to Google Maps. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, I have to say. It seems like it's going to do everything I want it to do. I'm only going to be shooting out to 500 meters with it, I suppose, with the 308 that I have. And I'll be using it primarily for rimfire. Got a big pelican coming in to visit us. Landing like a dive bomber. Where's he gonna go? Here he comes. There he is. Should have gone around there. Missed him. Some pelicans. He's found his friend. No dramas ranging him at short range. What about you? 96.9. So I'll just quickly show you this scan feature. You can just hold down the range button, scan across whatever you're looking at, and it'll bring up that last closest range. This is pretty handy when you're scanning for stuff that's a fair way out. You can just sweep it over whatever you're going to try and range, and hopefully if it picks anything up, click and off she goes. Displays that last known range, so that's a handy feature. Alrighty, that's a little better. Got him out of the tripod now. Our boaties have come a bit closer. 331 meters to a human target. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Let's see if we can range a tree on the other side of the lake. 535.7. That's not bad for a non-reflective target. Scanning across. Nice! So a few final thoughts on the old Kilo 1250. Good little unit if you're looking for a cheap rangefinder. I say cheap, but everything in Australia is expensive. There's not a great deal you can do about it here. But as far as reaching out and getting something reliably, I always go bigger is better. You can get the 850 and the 650, I believe, but as you can see, if you're ranging out that far, you really want to have a reflective target, and that's not always what you're after. Normally you're after an animal, and you want something that's a little bit more poke than the old 850. Go for the 1250. Main downside to it that I can see at the moment is that it doesn't have a tripod mount on it. So you could just use a little smartphone clamp that clips onto your tripod. You can get them. I'm using one right now from Harvey Norman or online, wherever you want to get them, for like 20 bucks. So that's always an option, but it is kind of annoying. You would think that when you're paying a few $100s for a rangefinder, they could at least spring for a little fitting on the bottom to pop him on to get your more steady ranges at the very long ranges. But aside from that, can't really complain. Pretty happy with it. You should check it out. Toodaloo.